Now, an amazing story about how one state's insurance group is paying patients to leave the country to find better deals on prescription drugs. Full Measure's Scott Thuman talked with the head of Utah's public employee health plan to see how it works.
In the shadow of the Rockies, Salt Lake City is a glowing example of economic growth, low unemployment, and $1 billion budget surplus. But that doesn't mean leaders ignore the chance to save cash where they can, especially when it comes to health care. And since some Americans were already crossing into Mexico to buy certain prescribed drugs at a fraction of the cost paid inside the U.S., Chef Loftus, who leads the state's public employee health plan, decided it could work for some of its members.
There was a bill that was passed 2 years ago that essentially said that whenever a member participates in savings opportunities, we ought to give some of that money back. So it got us thinking about it, right? And in healthcare, there's so much variance in costs. And one of those areas in particular is drugs.
And some of the most expensive are used to treat MS, rheumatoid arthritis, and Crohn's, costing on average $50,000 per patient a year, which led Loftus to not only pay for members' travel, but offer them a personal bonus of $500 each time they go. You see, while importing drugs is illegal, it's not against the law to leave the United States and bring back a 3-month supply, as long as it's for personal use.
We're talking about, over the course of a year, saving the state and other employers about $25,000 if people participate. And that is after we put them on a plane, put a companion on the plane, send them down there, pick them up at the airport, make sure they get to the location through the border, receive the drugs, see a doctor while they're there in terms of in connection with the drugs, and then coming back over the border.
And on top of that,
that's right,
they're getting money.
Yeah, they get $500 currently, and we're looking at actually increasing that a little bit.
It's soon, he says, maybe $1,000. That seems like a light bulb moment, where the light bulb goes on and you say, wait a minute, we can save a lot of money by sending them to Mexico, buying the drug there, bring them back, and we'll even be saving so much we can give them $500 or more just to do it.
These are, again, are drugs that not a lot of people take. We have about 170,000 people that we cover, and of those 170,000, about 400 have conditions that would be eligible for these drugs. And we're, of course, very selective in the drugs that we're talking about. They have to be high-cost drugs. It has to be safe for people to be able to travel for these drugs.
How much are you saving right now?
Yeah, so we have about 20 people of those 400, so we've barely scratched the surface. We've been doing it for about a year. Our savings to this point are about $250,000. We would anticipate that with the 20 people that are currently in, assuming we didn't have any others that participated, we'd be looking at about $500,000.
What about a reaction from other providers, other groups similar to yours who are overseeing benefits and plans? Anyone saying, tell us more about this thing you're doing?
Everybody asks.
Everyone asks.
Everybody asks. Everybody wants to know how we're doing it and all those kinds of things.
And it's not just Mexico. They're offering members the chance to also fly north to Vancouver, Canada, where there's a pharmacy right at the airport. For Full Measure, I'm Scott Thuman.
And up next, we talk space travel with a woman who's already booked her ticket.